Louis, your Dodgers have won the World Series.
We've got some breaking news. The Dodgers have made a trade, and we're breaking it all down. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do us a huge favor, subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, comment Rookie of the Year so you're eligible for our next big giveaway at 120,000 subscribers. We've already eclipsed that, so we're due for the giveaway, and we're going to launch that probably this Friday. We're going to rock that this Friday because the jersey actually hasn't been released, but it's coming very quickly here. You're going to see it hopefully in May, and then we will give you that jersey. So you can win it now, and then you'll get it in May. So we'll do that jersey giveaway for sure. Also, subscribe to the Discord channel. Thousands of Dodgers fans over at the Discord channel. You can call in to Dodgers Dugout Live. We do that on the Thursday episode. Exclusive merch, behind-the-scenes content, interviews, Q&As. You're going to find it there. Join the Discord channel. Also, subscribe to The Big Lead, my new show, my new channel. It's all the hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. And then also want to announce that we have got a new promo with Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats is the place to go to get your Dodgers tickets. And we set up 2 promo codes that are live and ready to be used. DN Nation 20. So DN Nation 20 is DN Nation 20. So D Nation 20. So DNATION 20. That gets new customers $20 off their first purchase of $200 or more. And DNATION 10 can be used by any Dodgers Nation fan to receive $10 off any purchase of $150 or more, regardless of if you're a new or existing user for Vivid Seats. So look, Dodgers tickets, they're expensive to begin with. So if you're going to buy them anyway, might as well save $20. Might as well save $10. Go to vividseats.com today. Use code DNation20, DNation10 to get those Dodgers seats. You got Shohei Ohtani's first bobblehead night giveaway. We had fans lining up already this morning, so it's going to be an exciting night at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers have a chance to improve to 8-0. 8-0. The Dodgers last night became 7-0, and that is the best start to a season in LA Dodgers history. Now all that's left is to have a 10-0 start, which would tie the franchise record set by the Boys of Summer Brooklyn Dodgers back in 1955. Yesterday also matched the 1933 New York Yankees that were led by Babe Ruth as the best start to a World Series defending champion. So definitely go get tickets tonight. I want to see you at the Ravine. I run into a lot of you fans. It's always very exciting to see fans of the Dodgers Nation podcast and everything that we do here. It's always great. Dodgers Dugout Live fans, you are the best. But let's get into the breaking news today. And the breaking news today is that the Dodgers have made a trade. The Dodgers have acquired a player that could have an impact for this team, a player that could play a role down in AAA and get an opportunity at some point. But the Dodgers, they tweeted out that they traded Carlos Duran for Esteury Ruiz of the Oakland A's. So Esteury Ruiz, he was designated for assignment by the A's just a few days ago, and the Dodgers, the first move they're going to make is they're going to option him to AAA. Now, that's another thing about Ruiz. He has options available, and that's something that this Dodgers organization they take advantage of. He's 26 years old. He has 2 years, 29 days of Major League service time, has 2 option years remaining. He did use up an option year in 2022, and this year he was beginning the season in AAA, and he hasn't used any of his 5 options so far this season. So the Dodgers can play with that. They can use him if they decide they want to see what he has, to see if there's a spot that he has to fill due to injury. But let's talk about the player. Who is Esteury Ruiz? Where are his strengths? Where are his weaknesses? I see people down the chat pointing out that he is a great base stealer. Well, that really is essentially what he does best. That is his biggest strength, is he can steal bases. He stole 67 bases in 132 games a few years ago. And that's something that is very, very helpful for a team that needs a pinch runner. They need someone that can run on any count and have a guy out there to give you some boost of energy like that. Last season, he stole 5 bases in just 29 games. The issue with Ruiz is the offense, what he can do with the bat. In his career, he's a 243 hitter, a 297 on base, a 343 slugging percentage that has an 82 weighted runs created plus and 73 stolen bases in 178 big league games. So offensively, he's been 18% below league average. He has struggled throughout his career to really get anything going and prove that he can hit big league pitching consistently. The year that he did have 67 stolen bases back in 2023, even that year, he was 15% below league average, hit 254, doesn't take a lot of walks, a walk rate around 6%. In 2024, the strikeout rate skyrocketed up to 30.8%. So there's that. Is essentially kind of a one-tool player when you look at it. And that one tool is he can steal bases at a very, very prolific rate. You would think that that would translate to good defense, but despite that elite speed, he's just not great defensively. He has 2 outs above average in his career, but a -20 defensive run saved. So I'm sure they'll make some adjustments. I'm sure that they'll put him in better positions to have success with the glove. But this is a very interesting player because you can't teach that kind of speed. You just can't. He was in A's camp at the start of spring training. He was optioned mid-March. They bumped him off that 40-man roster after the A's claimed Perdomo off waivers this last weekend. So the writing was on the wall that he was going to be gone most likely. And the fact that he didn't get to late March, he got optioned mid-March, kind of tells you how the A's felt about him. Now, one thing that you can look at is the fact that at the minor league level, he has had success at the plate. It's just his inability to hit big league pitching with any consistency is what prevents him from being a player that you look at as an everyday type of big leaguer. But at the minor league level, he slashed 337, 444, 535. So that definitely has been better throughout his career. So I think for me, kind of the big takeaway in all of this is that the Dodgers, one, Andrew Friedman does not want to deal at the deadline, but he also is looking for an opportunity to get some depth down at the AAA level and get a guy that if everything works out and they fix his swing, he has some tools. And that tool is he can run the bases and he's very fast. But he's not a guy that is going to hit for power. Throughout his career, he has 7 home runs. 7 home runs throughout his career. Last year, he hit 2. In 132 games in 2023, he hit 5. So he's not a guy that hits for power, doesn't hit for average, doesn't get on base at a prolific rate. Makes you wonder what this move means. There's no move that's just a random move by the Dodgers, right? They're always looking to move those chess pieces around on the board for very specific reasons. And at this point, you look at the center field spot, and it's not like I said, it's not like he isn't a defender that would scream, okay, at least I'm a defensive first center fielder that can run the bases. No, he actually isn't a great defender. What he's great at is he's a great base runner. But you look at the AAA level, it's still really, really early, but James Outman hasn't gotten off to a good start. You have Chris Taylor that's on this team. He hasn't gotten off to a good start. he'll get to 10 years of service time at some point in August. The Dodgers still owe him $13 million, and he still has a club option after the season that can be exercised. So it makes you wonder, is this a move that signals, oh, we think that Ruiz has the potential to be our everyday center fielder? Or is it, no, this is a depth piece that if he does get an opportunity, that the Dodgers will call upon him, and mainly he's going to stay down in AAA. What does this mean for Ha-Seong Kim? What does this mean for Andy Pages, right? I think that the Dodgers are focused on that position right now because it's one of the only positions where you don't really have to you don't really have to look very far to realize that you might not have that guy in your system right now. You might not have that everyday center fielder or even a guy that you can platoon with and you feel good about that. Andy Pages, his path to staying in center field is to hit. And so far in 7 games, Andy Pages is hitting 136. He hasn't hit a home run yet. He's striking out at a 34.6% clip. Has a 44 weighted runs created plus. So Andy Pages, to get the majority of the reps in center field, he was going to have a 100+ weighted runs created plus. He was going to have to hit 20 home runs, something like that. He's going to have to rake against lefties like he did last season. And yes, it is a very, very small sample size. But if there is that one position that there's question marks about, it certainly is the center field spot. Will Andy Pages keep it? Will Ha-Seong Kim get an opportunity? Will they kick out Tommy Edman to play center field? I think right now they have their eyes set on giving him an opportunity in Andy Pages. And then if he can't hit by that time, I think Ha-Seong Kim is going to get an opportunity. But yeah, more on Ruiz. Let's talk more about Ruiz, the newly acquired Dodger from today. A little rewind on Ruiz is that in 2022, people were talking about him, man. He got some attention. The Padres traded him to the Brewers. He was a part of the Josh Hader trade deal. Then Milwaukee, they shipped him off to the A's as a part of the 3-team Sean Murphy deal. So the A's, they were making a big gamble on Ruiz. They thought maybe he could be that guy because he was a part of that trade for one of the better catchers in the sport. But clearly the A's have not gotten what they were hoping for him. They've kind of had mixed results to the point where you don't even want him on your 40-man. You don't want to even have him a part of your organization. And if you're the Dodgers, the reason why this makes sense is because it's depth on the margins, and you had a 40-man roster spot that was going to be opened up because they sent Kyle Hurt to the 60-day IL, who had Tommy John surgery last July. Most likely he's going to miss the entire season. There is a chance that he could pitch later this year, but most likely he's probably going to miss the entire 2025 season for the Dodgers. So because of that reality, it's, hey, why not get someone that could add quality and has upside to this organization? So I like it. I don't think that it's going to be this crazy, oh, he's going to catch fire with the Dodgers or anything like that, just because until I see him hit at this level with any consistency, then I'm going to have my doubts. Until I see him even play defense with any consistency at an average and above average level, I'm just going to say he is what he is, which is a one-tool player, a guy that can run the bases very well, but it's tough to have a true impact on the base paths unless you can get on base with any consistency. But I asked you guys over on the X, Esteury Ruiz for the Dodgers will be something, nothing, or everything, and 60% say something, 34% say nothing, 6% say everything. So, hey, look, this is a Dodgers organization that knows how to unlock guys. I will say that. I mean, going all the way back, Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Jason Hayward was a reclamation project. I mean, David Bodie has already looked better in this organization with some of the swing changes. Look, if you can get him to have more success at the plate and he feels more confident in his approach and you start to see some results, then yeah, then you can start kind of talking about him having an impact. But I think that what I said at the top of the show, kind of how does this impact James Outman? How does it impact the outfielders down in OKC, I think is a little bit more of the conversation. But Ruiz, a fun player, a player that has speed. He's got wheels. Now let's talk about Carlos Duran, the guy that the Dodgers gave up in the deal. And Carlos Duran, he was impressive in his first start in AAA this season, was hit 95, hit 96. He's 23 years old. He's a big dude, 6'7", right-handed pitcher out of the Dominican Republic. The Dodgers signed him back in 2018. He's posted a 3.71 ERA in 19 starts in 3 minor league levels last season, had 73 strikeouts and 32 walks in 53 and a third innings. And he's someone that I think the organization felt good about, but he was expendable, right? This is not someone that is going to be a future frontline starter for you. And he's dealt with injuries. He's had issues, had Tommy John surgery. He has had shoulder problems in his career. He came back to the mound last season after missing significant time, and he made just 19 starts. So there is stuff to like about him. A 29.4% strikeout rate, walk rate high at 12.9%, did get up to AAA. So I think for me, this is a move it's fun that the Dodgers are making trades. I wouldn't say it's quite nothing to see here because every move is connected. I think the bigger thing for me here is, are the Dodgers satisfied with what they're going to get out of center field? Because, like I said, Andy Pages, it's a very, very short sample size, and his job is to mash lefties. Hit 917 OPS, had a 917 OPS against lefties last season. That was second on the team behind Teoscar Hernandez. But can he follow that up? Can he do that again this season? Well, so far it's been just 9 at-bats, but he's 1 for 9 with a single against left-handed pitching, hit a 111, and then he's 2 for 13 against righties with a double. So Andy Pages, you got to hit to stick, and the Dodgers have some options in center field. You could kick out Tommy Edman. I do think they like Tommy Edman as a versatile player, some guy that can play alongside Mookie Betts and bring stability at the position where he won a Gold Glove, which is second base. And I also think that they want to take advantage of his versatility. So I think with the way that Ha-Seong Kim has been slugging, he's hitting around 200 down in AAA, but he's slugging. The OPS is over 800. I think if Kim can prove that he can at least have some success against minor league pitchers at the AAA level, I think he's going to get an opportunity. And Kim has been playing mostly center field for the OKC Comets. So, yeah, let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the Dodgers trading for Esteury Ruiz? Do you think it's something, nothing, or everything? I like the speed, man. Speed kills, right? You got speedy guys on this team in Tommy Edman and Ruiz. Kim's a guy that has shown that if he can get on base, he's very dynamic. So this is something I think the Dodgers have been eyeing since the rule changes, is you can get an extra base. You can help your chance of winning if you get a dynamic base runner. We got a super chat from LA Times 310 199. D-Mac, the lines are ridiculous. LFGLA 80. Yeah, I think it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild how so many people get in line at Dodger Stadium for the Shohei Ohtani bobbleheads as if that their first come, first serve, and they're going to run out. There's like 50,000 bobbleheads, and you can show up at 7 o'clock and probably get yours, and you can show up now. But hey, it's all fun, though. Like, it's fun. And last year, the bobblehead situation got kind of crazy with people getting multiple tickets, and you saw people just completely take advantage of the situation. But there is a new bobblehead policy at Dodger Stadium this year. So, yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. But I want your takes on Esteury Ruiz. I love a trade. But I think the trade is to go out there, see what you have in Pages, see what you have in Ha-Seong Kim. That's a long enough sample size. It's a long enough period of time to, if you don't feel good about your center field production, which you can lean more defensively, right? You can lean more defensively, especially when you have corner outfielders like Michael Conforto, who's raking, Teoscar Hernandez is raking. You can err on the side of defense at that position. But if we're dreaming big here, and we're looking for the Dodgers to make a blockbuster trade, Robert Jr. would be that guy. Now, he hasn't gotten off to a good start this season. 5 games, he's hitting 176. And then last year, he was below average. So maybe that bat's not there, but we'll kind of follow that situation. But another thing, too, another big takeaway about this move is Andrew Friedman does not want to get to the deadline and have to make deals. He said that in the offseason. He's signaling that again with this move. He wants to do the Christmas shopping early. And yes, this is a stocking stuffer, right? This is not a big present or anything like that. But the longer you wait, the more the cost of acquiring talent goes up. And that, I think, is going to hopefully be a theme for this team because it means that the current players produced and the current players didn't get injured. So let's hope that is the case. A $5 super chat from Please Hold. Is there any way I can give you my Strange Love dunks so Blake Snell could sign them? Yeah, if I asked Blake Snell for an autograph of anything, I wouldn't be able to get within 50 miles of Dodger Stadium. They would take my credential faster than Profar takes steroids. I mean, it would be very quickly. Could not do that. But I know that Snell does like his dunks. I know Snell, by the way, is like already top 5 drippiest player on the team. Him, Yamamoto. I think that he kind of replaced what Jack Flaherty was a little bit. Let's get Noel in here. Noel, what do you think of Blake Snell's the way he dresses? Because he kind of brings the vibes.
He's a cool dude. I think he showed some of his drip off first when he arrived to spring training in the walkway. I think he busted a couple cool fits walking into the facilities. And yeah, I mean, he's who's he sponsored by? Is he? I
think he's Nike. I want to say because
I've seen him in Nike and J's.
Some of the dudes that like, it's like, even though they're not all over like advertisements and stuff, like they have deals with these companies where they wear their cleats, they use their batting gloves. I think he's a Nike glove guy.
Yeah.
So anytime you see a picture with a Nike glove, that tells you they're with Nike because Nike doesn't sell gloves.
Yeah. No,
right.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
very limited if you can even find them on the aftermarket. So that really is the case with that. But yeah, I think he's a Nike dude. He wears some really sick cleats for sure.
I also really like those like LA Snellzilla merch those shirts he dropped right after he signed. It's almost like he had them ready right when he signed with the Dodgers.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. I mean, he took advantage, man. And I do love those shirts. And Blake Snell is the coolest dude in the world. He's going tonight, his second start at Dodger Stadium. So yeah, I see a 199 super chat from Sports Cards, Report Cards. It was Donnie Baseball. Now it's Tommy Baseball. Okay, I like that. I'll take that. MG, I'll give you a nice little let's go Dodgers for that one. But yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people talking about Chris Taylor in the chat and what this means for Chris Taylor. Yeah, certainly if Chris Taylor struggles the entire season and he just doesn't hit at all, for sure, you're going to have options. And the longer this season goes, the more the Dodgers will have paid down whatever they owe him. So it would hurt them less to move on from him. Now, Chris Taylor, so far on the season, very, very limited opportunities. Just 2 games, just 3 at-bats. So that's what I told you guys. He was not going to get very many opportunities, but if they don't think that he is adequate in his role and he doesn't take advantage of the opportunities that he does have, and we're talking about a Chris Taylor where we're months into the season and he's really, really struggling. Yeah, Esteury Ruiz is a guy that if things work out well for him at the minor league level, he takes to the Dodgers culture, the Dodgers teachings, and you see improvements to his production. He has a lot of talent. He's 26. He's got option years remaining. Dodgers like those dudes. I think that you wanted to see him improve as much defensively as much as offensively, for sure. So I think that's kind of the big thing for me with that. And I think when you look at where Duran is and his career, he's someone that wasn't going to really prove to help this team anyway. So yeah, to me, if the Chris Taylor conversation is going to really pop up in July, in August. It's going to look at his production. And hey, he could be expendable by that point, and the Dodgers could have some players that are knocking on the door. So yeah, I think that like if you're trying to say is there a point in time where Chris Taylor isn't one of the best 13 position players in this organization? Certainly that's a conversation that can be had if the results aren't there, but it's still premature. He still is going to get more opportunities. I do think they want to get him to 10 years of service time. I've been saying that since the offseason as a little subplot there. But other thing I consider too is if you've watched this year, Tommy Edman has been an absolute joy to watch defensively. Just the other night, just that back end play he made behind Mookie Betts, making that throw, making that catch there at second base to really save the Dodgers a run. The relay from Teo to Edman to get Manuel Margot at the plate. I like Edman at second because I think that you feel better about Mookie at short with a Gold Glove second baseman in Tommy Edman. I don't want to lose that, even though you have guys that can play that position. Miguel Rojas, Kike, you have Hassan Kim that can play that position. But I think that there's a reason why Kim is playing more center down at the minor league level than second base, because I think they want to use Tommy Edman mostly at second base this season. And if you look to kind of some platoons, we know the Dodgers are always going to platoons. That's going to be kind of where you could find him. That's going to be where you could find Ruiz, right? Because for his career, this is someone that has not worked out from both sides of the plate. He is a right-handed batter. If you look at his splits throughout his career, though, let's take a little deep dive into his splits, see how he does against lefties. He's respectable. A 733 OPS versus lefties, 5 home runs, 12 doubles, and 185 at-bats. So better against lefties than righties, which is expected to get the defense up. If you get the bat up, have him in center field, maybe you could see a platoon situation there. Maybe that's how it could work for him, is to find himself in that role. Got some more super chats, got some more comments. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout Live. We've got MG, Dodgers have the best AAA team in baseball. Haha, the OKC Comets are better than the Mets right now. Wouldn't you love to see that? Just like one time is a AAA team taking on a major league team, because the OKC Comets, they are stacked. Alex Freeland is balling down there. I love keeping up with that team. This guy called me out, said, nice life preserver D-Mac. You got to roast me on my own show. Give you a finish him for that. We've got some more comments down below. Sports cards, reports cards. Muncy needs to be demoted to Gatorade cooler duties. So it's already started. Riding on the players that are struggling, even though we're 7 games in. But LC, hey, D-Mac, tell them to hurry up on those torpedo bats. Hey, I'm going to the stadium today. I cannot wait to ask the players about the torpedo bats. I hope to look inside the clubhouse and see some of them at their lockers. Max Muncy has already said he's going to use them. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see the torpedo bats for sure and how they're going to play. I kind of like you're moving all the mass to the barrel of the bat, and I think they're going to be probably outlawed at some point if they're hitting so many home runs with them, but might as well see what they can do now for sure. We've got the Jeff Lada says Rosario is there still too. He's doing well in the minors. Yeah, Rosario's the guy that's going to play corner outfield. He has had some success. He's really batting in the middle of that OKC Comets. Still going to use the OKC Comets name down there. Jeff Lead says Taylor is done. We can put him in blowouts to see if he can do anything other than line out or strikeouts. BC says he doesn't deserve 10 years. Wow. Guys are going hard on CT3. Nando. Dodgers did a struggling Taylor kind of dirty by making him face Sale. LOL. Yeah, exactly. For sure. That was a tough opponent for sure. Going up against the reigning Cy Young guy in Chris Sale. But hey, the Dodgers did manage to score 3 runs off of him. And yesterday, I thought it was just great hitting. I mean, those were pitcher's pitches, as Dave Roberts said after the game. Shohei Ohtani got his bat out and the barrel out over the plate and lifted one into right center. Mookie Betts took a pitch that was down in the zone and lifted it out of the ballpark. So some great hitting for the Dodgers, not just capitalizing on mistakes, just doing a great job staying locked in. But yeah, Chris Sale is a player that, a pitcher that, hey, with the Braves struggling like they are, I mean, if they have a terrible year, you wonder if they would trade some of their big pieces, some of their Cy Young winners and Chris Sale, right? Would they trade a Cy Young winner and Chris Sale? Hey, I'm sure if you ask Alex Anthopoulos about trading Chris Sale, he'll tell you he's not for sale, but we'll see how that year plays out. We got to 499 James Marrero. When do you think Hassan Kim gets the call up, move Edmund to center? No, so James, he has been playing mostly center field down in OKC. I think the plan wouldn't be necessarily to move him there. I think you look at the success he's had as a batter, batting from the left side. I think the natural inclination would be to possibly have Kim in center, and maybe you can have some platoon possibilities with Kike Hernandez. They form a natural platoon there. When Freddie Freeman gets back and he's fully healthy, and if guys stay fully healthy and you have to get Kike some opportunities, I think that's a way to do it for sure. We've got Dodgers Z Showtime fans. At least Rosario can hit home runs better than Chris Taylor. Yeah, so this is turning into the Chris Taylor. Let's all dunk and hate on Chris Taylor's show. How it kind of devolves into these days. But hey, like I said, Dodgers are 7-0, right? Chris Taylor's not hurting this team as much as some Dodgers fans would lead you to believe. Matt Leiter, Mookie is the team. Ohtani is the franchise. Hey, sounds like a guy watched the show. Drew Rockwell, Ohtani needs to get going, kind of off to a slow start. Is his shoulder not fully healed yet? Like, it's still really early. I mean, he hasn't looked incredible MVP Shohei Ohtani yet so far on the show. That's kind of not what we've seen from him, but he's still working his way back, as you point out, coming off labrum surgery in 7 games. I mean, look, it's crazy. Just in 7 games, he has a 171 weighted runs created plus. Okay. He's hitting 280, has 2 home runs, has scored 10 runs, has 2 RBIs. The exit velocity numbers are very high. I'm not worried at all with Shohei Ohtani. I mean, just looking at his numbers now, it's just like his version of slumping is like, hey, my bad game is your Hall of Fame game, right? Ninja Squirrel 30, I think Luis Robert Jr. is a good trade within our team. He will become what his talent has shown he could be and take next steps to make his career into being the beast that he is. That's from Ninja Squirrel 30. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The potential's always been there with him. You've got with Luis Robert Jr., it's never been a matter of talent, right? I mean, you talk about Ruiz being a one-tool player. Luis Robert Jr. can hit for power. He can hit for average. He can steal bases. He can play above average defense when he's right. So that is kind of the biggest thing for him, is just realize that potential. You always kind of wondered how he would look outside of baseball hell that is the Chicago White Sox. So, yeah, it's been a little better of a start for them this season, but you're talking about the worst team in Major League Baseball history last year. Just ask our good friend Miguel Vargas, who is still looking depressed, looking like he needs a box of tissues, laying on that dugout, looking as sad as he did. But, yeah, I think for himself right there, Luis Robert Jr. will be a conversation when Kim gets his chance and they do play him at center field, that he does struggle, that Pages does struggle. When it looks like the Dodgers have no more options for center field, then maybe you can have that conversation. I think the thing that makes Luis Robert Jr. so interesting is his contract situation. If he performs like an all-star, that's when it gets really, really interesting for him. Because if he's not performing at an all-star level, then it doesn't look as great. He's got $15 million due this season, but then he has club options for 2026 and 2027 at $20 million a year, which, by the way, would be more than Jackson Merrill. I don't know who Jackson Merrill's agent is, but I cannot believe the Padres got Jackson Merrill on that contract. Could essentially be $15 million a year AAV for an all-star center fielder. Could top out at $23 million AAV if he hits all the escalators. But hey, Padres, hey, got to tip my cap to you, because that definitely was a good deal. Padres starting 6-0. They're 7-0 after getting that contract done with Jackson Merrill. But here, down below in the comments, guys, we got some more Dodgers Nation, Esteury Ruiz, extra innings runner. That is his path to, okay, if you need some guy to run, if he's on your 26-man roster, he's the guy that's going to get the chance to do it, right? His base running is otherworldly. I mean, we thought Shohei Ohtani stole 1 million bases last year when he stole 59. Imagine what it looks like when a guy steals 67. This guy is a absolute menace on the base pass. He's fast. He's got great instincts. He's an exciting player. I will say that. I mean, I hope my hope is that he's so young and he hasn't been with great organizations necessarily, that the Dodgers have identified something, whether it be an approach thing, whether it be flattening out his swing, whether it be just a little mechanical tweak that could unlock his offense. Because if you did that, then I think that he's athletic enough to play defense better than his defensive metrics have shown, where he's a minus 20 defensive run saved, right? Things like that. So there's potential there. There's certainly potential there. Jonathan says he's definitely a torta pounder. What is that? BC Phillies series will be the true test this season. That is a hot take. You mean to tell me that the 9th, 10th, and 11th games this season will be the biggest test this season? BC, you know I love you, and I love that hot take, but it's 162 games. We got Graham Farmer. Oh, do not bring up my favorite movie of all time. He says, "Hey kid, what'd you do? Jump ship? What? Well, what's with the life preserver? Back to the Future. Oh man, that's a great quote right there. Love Marty McFly. I'm feeling Marty McFly in my vest. You guys clowning on me for this vest, and yeah, I guess I need a red one. I need an orange one though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Marty McFly is definitely, you know what's crazy is literally my senior quote. My senior quote when I was in high school was, "Where we are going, we don't need roads." It was from Back to the Future. And Doc, what was your guys' senior quote? You remember yours? I was debating between that and a Tupac quote. I forgot what it was, but Nando 390 D-Mac rocking a Merrill jersey underneath the vest. Wait, hold on there. First of all, if there's anyone that'd be doing that, it's this guy right here, who always is kind of like light glazing Fernando Tatis Jr. But I mean, he's an exciting player, and you like young, exciting players, right, Noel?
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Merrill's a great player. You know me, Doug. I've said it multiple times. You're always trying to air me out, but I am a fan of the Padres being good because I like playing them and beating them. And I like exciting series, and I like building up the fan base to think they're going to beat us, and then we take them down.
Facts. No, absolutely. It's like I picked the Diamondbacks to finish second in this division, but I'm starting to regret that pick. And I'm glad that I'm wrong, because Dodgers, Padres competing for anything is good for baseball. I think it's good for the Dodgers, quite frankly, too, to have something to be playing for sure. But yeah, they've definitely had success. It was a great signing for them. We got some more down below. Comments popping off today. We got Nando D-Mac rocking the Han Solo vest. Hey, man, you talk about some of my favorite characters in the movie, so I'm fine with that. BC D-Mac loves Padres. I literally just spent a whole day yesterday roasting Profar. I call him Fernando Tatis. I call it Pedco Park, P-E-D-Co Park. You can't spell Padres without P-E-D. Manny Mafrado. Are you kidding me? I pretty much made a career on hating on the San Diego Padres. What are you talking about? But also, hey, game recognized game, man. The Padres, look, ask any Dodger which team they faced that had the most good to great players. They will tell you that the Padres had a lot of great players. And hey, thankfully the Dodgers came back and won the NLDS. But Ninja Squirrel 30, we should try and get Mike Trout. He deserves success and enjoyment from the last years of his career after the service to the game he's given. Angels GM needs to let him go. I mean, he'd rather trade his grandma than trade the Dodgers Mike Trout. It's not going to happen. It's contractually, if they paid down a ton of it, sure. I mean, who's going to say no to Mike Trout? Not going to happen. The Gator Show, Lance Lynn, just gave another home run, retired yesterday, and still give a homer from his couch. I'm going to give that a comment of the show. I'm going to give him the comment of the show. I'm going to give you a nice finish in for that one for roasting Lance Lynn.
Finish him.
I'm afraid to see Lance Lynn at a restaurant. I feel like he'd be like, yeah, talk about me giving up home runs. I'm going to hit you, man.
It would not be a good meeting if you saw him.
Hey, no, I'd probably just say, look, man, thanks for your service. And thanks for Lance Lynn. Without Lance Lynn, maybe the Dodgers don't go absolutely scorched earth that offseason and sign Shohei and trade for Glassdown, sign Yamamoto, and turn this organization into the juggernaut that it is becoming in Major League Baseball. So Lance Lynn, he didn't have his Lynn sanity run, that's for sure. But yeah, he gave a good amount of home runs, but still a great career for him. It really, really was. Sergio Avila, The Dodgers are built to try and win the World Series every year. The Padres are built to try and beat the Dodgers every year. That's the difference between the two. Yeah, I mean, I always say that that's really the case with the Padres, right? With the Padres and the Dodgers, is them being in existence actually helps the Dodgers to have a competition, right? I'll never forget when the U.S. sprinter Tyson Gay, he said that he was put on earth to make Usain Bolt run faster. And I think that's what the Padres are for the Dodgers. They are here to make the Dodgers play better and dig to levels that they didn't know were possible, to dig deep to areas of their baseball skill level that they didn't know were possible. We saw that last season in the NLDS. The Padres had the Dodgers dead to rights, and they were down 2-1. They come back to win that series. We got to six-pack. Big Red look good. He's our fifth starter. Wow. Yeah, go and watch the post-game show. We talked about that yesterday, how good Dustin May looked. Dustin Mania is alive. The curveball, the fastball, the way the stuff was playing against big league hitters after missing 685 days in between starts, going 2 years without starts. I mean, last time he had started before yesterday in a regular season game was May 17th. And I love the emotion that he showed. The emotion that he showed coming off that mound, jumping up in the air, and then in the dugout too, he shared a moment after that first inning. After he struck out the side in the first inning, he had a moment, clearly praying to God or kind of praying to the skies and really being thankful for everything that he's been through. And I think he's got a new lease on life. I think he's got a new perspective about, yeah, baseball's important, but he literally almost died because of that lettuce, because of choking on that lettuce. He almost died. And thankfully, he was able to get to the hospital, take care of that, because Dustin May is a great dude. He's great for this team. And yeah, here's a little bit from Dustin May just talking about what he went through just to get back to the mound last night.
The doctor told us, like, well, you probably had about 4 more hours. And I'm like, 4 more hours until what? And he said until things were really, really bad.
It was definitely life and death. Like, if I wouldn't have went into the hospital that night, I would not be here today.
Crazy stuff. And I do think that if Dustin May plays out this year and pitches to the level that we think he can pitch at, you have to either consider an extension or you have to consider trading other guys within this organization. Do they look to move on from a Tony Gonsolin who has a couple years left under his contract to a team and trade him for prospects that aren't on the 40-man roster, kind of like we saw with Michael Busch and Jackson Ferris, getting guys like that? Or do we see them try to get a win now piece? But if you have a surplus of pitchers, that's what this move today for Esteury Ruiz showed us. With Esteury Ruiz, they said, we've got a ton of pitchers in the war chest. Let's trade from a position of surplus. That is what they did, so they could do that too on another level as well. We got Big Joe Smash. D-Mac, can I get a bruh? My coworker said to trade Altuve for Teoscar. Wow. You need like a bruh. You get 2 bruhs for that. That's unacceptable. Carmen Alexander. D-Mac, did you get a new bruh face yet? I bet Glassdown has a good one. Yeah, we got to get some. The Shohei's got some good ones. Blake Snell's got some good ones. How about this? We'll promise to debut a new bruh face this Friday. This Friday, we're going to retire the Gavin Lux bruh face. Maybe we'll have we'll play taps. You know, we'll play that, and that'll be that. And yeah, we'll get a new bruh face for you, I promise. Orlando, if D-May is not extended, does he get a qualifying offer? I mean, you're looking at it, over $20 million. It depends on the year he has and if he stays healthy. I do think that the first thing for Dustin May is to make it impossible for them to keep him out of this rotation when everyone gets healthy. And if he accomplishes that, then he can enter free agency as a starting pitcher. And if he's at the end of the season where Dustin May has made 20 plus starts, that should tell you how his year went. So that is what we're looking for now, is make it impossible to kick him out of the rotation, even when guys get healthy. Because look, he gave 1 hit yesterday. That 1 hit to Ozuna And then it should have been an inning-ending double play if it weren't for the error by Mookie Betts. So he did have 3 walks, but the strikeouts were there. The stuff was there. The movement profiles, the velocity. He isn't 98 every pitch. He did top out at close to 98 with the 4-seam fastball. But I think the variations there, where he can throw 93 and then pump it up to 98 if he wants to get there, it's about command for Dustin May. So I am very, very encouraged with what I saw yesterday, to the point where, you guys remember before the season, I did my 5 X factors for the Dodgers. 1 was Tyler Glasnow, 2 was Dustin May. And the reason why I said that Dustin May was an X factor is because if you do have to lose any of these starters due to injury, May is the one guy where you look at the stuff in his ceiling that he can have nights where he pitches like a frontline top 3 starter. That is how good Dustin May is. I'll never forget in spring training, he told us that when his stuff, he said this coming out of Dustin May's mouth. He said that when my stuff is in the zone, it's as good as anyone's in the league. That's the kind of confidence that he has in himself, because you know what? That's also including his teammates. And you got Cy Youngs and MVPs and All-Stars that are part of this rotation as well. We've got 4-seater, 777, $4.99 random. I was Michael J. Fox's stunt double, photo double, and stand-in on the TV show case called Scrubs Good Times. Yeah, that's a really awesome fun fact for sure. I mean, Back to the Future was by Zemeckis, definitely one of the best franchises ever. I think that we should probably get Robert in here to talk about this. He's Mr. Movie Man for sure. But yeah, I think the original Marty McFly is something really interesting to me. Eric Stoltz. Have you ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction when Uma Thurman ODs and her and John Travolta are going down the street and he calls him up. He calls Eric Stoltz like, she's OD on me, man. And he's like, don't bring this drug addict to my house. Don't bring this drug addict to my house. And then he pulls up in the Malibu. They crash in his front yard. They go in his house and then they take the adrenaline, and it's Eric Stoltz who's the drug dealer there. And of course, John Travolta puts into Uma Thurman. She wakes up, right? And Eric Stoltz was originally supposed to be Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Thankfully, we ended up with Michael J. Fox. But yeah, we could talk about that in another episode. Money Magnum hot take, D-Mac, Dustin May will be a top 5 in Cy Young race. Hey, you got to take that hot. You know you're going to get a fire take. Lou, $1.99. Appreciate that. Steve Schmidt, Muncie will get hot when someone else gets cold. He fills gaps and can still be clutch sometimes. Yeah, I mean, look, not everyone's going to be hot at the same time, and you just want to limit those cold streaks for sure. So, yeah, Muncie's a veteran. He understands how the game is. So, yeah, it hasn't been a great start for Max Muncy either. But I think if there's a couple of guys on this team that you kind of have to just trust that they'll eventually kind of figure things out, Max Muncy is certainly one of those guys for sure. Max Muncy so far on the season, he is at 21 at-bats so far. Yeah, he's a 4 OPS plus. Has been a slow start. He's 2 for his first 21. And he's got 10 strikeouts. So the strikeouts have been up for Max Muncy. So he's someone that definitely wants to turn things around for sure. But a couple more here, guys, and then we will be out. D-Mac hot take, Dustin May will win me my fantasy baseball league. Well, good for you. Give you a home run there. The Carmen Alexander, what's the new bobblehead policy? So the new Dodgers bobblehead policy, let me see if I can pull it up. Basically, it's where you can't hoard the bobbleheads. Do you know anything about it, Noel?
Yeah, so I know last year, like years prior, you could keep going back and back forth and getting more. Somehow people are finessing. I think it's going to be limited, and you have to show proof that you didn't get one already, pretty much. Yeah,
we got it right here. So this is from the Dodgers official website. It says, while supplies last at guest point of entry, giveaways listed are for the first 40,000 fans. Unless otherwise noted, only one giveaway item per person will be given to the bearer of the ticket upon entering the stadium. Schedule subject to change without notice. A ticket will be deemed invalid if the ticket stub has been detached, the ticket barcode has been deactivated or invalidated, or if a re-entry gate usher has invalidated the ticket with a stamp or mark. It says that the bobbleheads and the giveaways will be subject to removal. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much what it's about is last year it got really crazy. Where you would go into the stadium and you would see like stacks of Shohei Ohtani bobbleheads, and there'd be one person there. So one person would buy tickets to a bunch of games, get a bobblehead, then come back. So last year, they would scan your extra tickets, or they would let you go back through the line. This year, though, you're going to take your first bobblehead and you go all the way back to your car and you got the extra ticket scanned. And it's going to be really interesting to see if you still try to kind of combat that. But hey, at the end of the day, if you do buy multiple tickets, I mean, you really kind of should get multiple bobbleheads. But these things are going for a lot of money. These things go for over hundreds of dollars now. I mean, the gold Ohtani goes for a lot. So it'll be really interesting to see what they'll do now. I'm guaranteeing that you're probably going to see just multiple people at a game accounting for these bobbleheads. But I'll give you the report today. Because the secondary bobblehead market has exploded, especially with Dodgers-related bobbleheads. And tonight, it's the Shohei Ohtani MVP bobblehead. And we've got the decoy, we got the Shohei one. Tonight, we are getting the MVP one. It's going to be exciting. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. Here, I got some more. You guys are killing it. So, Cleanus says, D-Mac, I'm sad Lance Lynn is retiring. We never got to see him give up bombs to the torpedo bats. Comment of the show right there. Comment of the show. We got Maximus NV, Max Muncy, dinger tonight. He will break EK's LA Dodger record still. Nice. All right, I like it. But that is going to do it, guys. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. We will see you guys after the game for the post-game show. Definitely tune in for that live from Dodgers Stadium. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Go to Vivid Seats to get your Dodgers tickets. D Nation 10, D Nation 20. Be sure to do that. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.